Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Mass Effect Legendary Edition here on the Game Professor channel. I'm your host, the Game Professor. We just finished off Noveria, so we are heading back to the ship now, where we will have a little debrief with the crew as well as with the council. Then I guess today, the rest of today will be talking to the crew. So let's get to it, shall we? This will be very different without Liara around. Oh, God.
What's our next move, Commander? Head for the Mu Relay?
There's no point in that.
The Mu Relay could link to dozens of systems. Unless we know exactly where Saren's going, we'd just be wasting our time.
The Commander's right. We can't rush off blind. We need more to go on.
What about Liara Tassoni? The Matriarch's daughter. Isn't she some kind of expert on the Protheans?
Yeah, right. Her mother was working for Saren. I bet she is too.
But Nezia helped us in the end. Maybe Liara will too. At the very least, we should head for the Artemis Tau cluster to find her.
Who put you in charge? Did the Commander resign when I wasn't looking?
Interesting. That's a very different interaction without Liara, but having Ashley go after Tally for making a suggestion. Interesting.
I give the orders around here. I'll decide where we go next. Is that clear?
Of course, Shepard. I was only trying to help.
It's okay.
This is a tough mission. We're all on edge. Everyone go get some rest. Crew, dismissed.
Noveria report is away, Commander. You want me to patch it through to the Council?
Do it.
Patch him through, Joker.
Setting up the link now, Commander.
Is this report accurate, Commander? You found Rachni on Noveria?
And then released the Queen. Do you have any idea what you've done? How many generations until they overrun the galaxy?
Should I guess?
3? No. 4.
This is no joke, Commander. The Rachni were one of the greatest threats the galaxy ever faced.
Not these ones.
This Queen is different. She understands why her kind had to be wiped out last time around.
I hope you're right, Shepard. Our children's children will pay the price if you're not.
We'll be waiting for your next report, Commander.
Alright. So, I'm not going to be a complete jackass to the Council either. I don't like that approach personally. So, let's go chat with everybody. We'll start with Caden this time. See what he has to say. Ooh, I can check out my locker again. Nice. Actually, I'm also gonna replenish my Medigel as well. To be absolutely certain I am good on Medigel. How's it going, Caden?
Anything you need, Commander?
Tactical appraisal.
What's your opinion on the last mission?
Killing Saren's, what was Benezi anyway? Second in command? Advisor? Anyway, it should set him back a bit. I guess we'll be the ones to tell Dr. Tassoni. It's a hell of a thing to drop on her.
What do you think about the Rachni Queen?
Any opinion on the Rachni?
Off the record, if we had the option, I'd as soon have left it to the Council. We weren't out here during the Rachni War. I'm not sure we have any business getting involved.
I can understand that. What about, off the record, personal input?
Just trying to get a sense of where the crew's at. Thoughts?
Is this an official evaluation, Commander? Or off the record?
Just give me your thoughts.
Like I've got time to write you up. You have something you want to say, feel free.
Fair enough. Truth is, there's something wrong with all of this. This Saren is looking for a lost mass relay to who knows where, but we can't get backup from the Council? Sorry, Commander. There's writing on the wall here, but someone isn't reading it.
I hear you. I definitely hear you.
The Council doesn't want to believe anything's wrong. I'd call it human nature, but...
I hear you. It just seems like a group that's been around as long as the Council should see this coming. Sorry if I got too informal. Protocol wasn't a big focus back in Bot.
Just be ready.
I trust you won't have any questions when whatever's coming hits the fan.
None. I'm not questioning the mission. I'm just concerned. You won't have to worry about me, Commander.
I do like Kaidan. I'm not as anti-Kaidan as a lot of people are. But his voice seemed really quiet. So I'm gonna do that again and just see how it is with my editing. It seems strange to me that when they so specifically have dialogue as its own volume option, that the sound effects would affect the dialogue. Allow me to be irritated, basically. Let's talk to Tally next. If we do romance anybody in this playthrough other than Liara, it'll be Tally. Just gonna throw that out there. Let's talk to Adams first, actually.
Hey, Commander, you know that Quarian, Tally? She's been spending all her time down here asking me about our engines.
Is she bothering you?
I'll tell her to leave you alone.
What? No, she's amazing. I wish my guys were half as smart as she is. Give her a month on board and she'll know more about our engines than I do. She's got a real knack for technology, that one. I can see why you wanted her to come along.
She's useful.
I figured she'd be a real asset to the team.
You've got an eye for Tally, Commander, but I'm guessing that's not why you came down here.
I'm not going to talk to him at this point. Maybe at some point in another episode.
Carry on, Adams.
Aye, aye, Commander.
I can get a little bit of EXP there, though.
Your ship's amazing, Shepard. I've never seen a drive core like this before. I can't believe you were able to fit it into a ship this small. I'm starting to understand why you humans have been so successful. I had no idea Alliance vessels were so advanced.
I would say normally they're not.
The Normandy's a prototype. Cutting-edge technology.
A month ago, I was patching a makeshift fuel line into a converted tug ship in the flotilla. Now, I'm sitting on board one of the most advanced vessels in Citadel space. I have to thank you again for bringing me along. Traveling on a vessel like this is a dream come true for me.
You're into ships?
I had no idea you found ship technology so interesting.
It comes with being a Quarian. The migrant fleet is the key to the survival of my people. Ships are our most valuable resource. But we don't have anything like this. We make do with cast-offs and second-hand equipment. We just try to keep them running for as long as we can. Some of the fleet's larger vessels date all the way back to our original flight from the Geth.
That was quite a while ago. That's crazy.
I can't believe your fleet's still using ships that are 3 centuries old.
They're constantly being repaired, modified, and refitted. They aren't pretty, but they work. Mostly. We've tried to make ourselves as independent as possible on the flotilla. Grow our own food, mine, and process our own fuel. But some things we just can't make on our own. A patch to maintain the hull integrity requires raw materials we just don't have. That's why our pilgrimages are so important.
That makes sense. That definitely gives a huge bit of context for the pilgrimage. Will you tell me more about it?
I want to know more about the pilgrimage.
When my people reach maturity, we leave our birth ships and seek acceptance with a new crew. It's necessary to maintain genetic diversity among the fleet.
Okay.
But no ship wants to accept someone who will be a burden on them. So, to prove our worth, we embark on a pilgrimage. We set out alone, leaving the flotilla and our families behind us. We only return once we have found something of value we can bring back to the fleet. This is presented as a gift to the captain of the respective ship we wish to join. If the gift is accepted, we are welcomed into the crew.
Do they always accept?
Can a captain choose to reject the gift?
That doesn't happen often. Most captains are eager to increase the size of their crew. It increases their own standing in our society. Even when a gift is not particularly valuable, the captain usually accepts it out of a sense of tradition. However, there is a stigma to presenting a substandard gift. It's not the best way to make a good impression on a new community. Most pilgrims don't return until they find something worthwhile.
Okay.
I want to talk about something else.
Like what?
Tell me more about the Quarians.
Tell me about your people.
Our lives aren't easy. Resources are scarce, and we are constantly on the move. Everything we do must in some way contribute to the continuation of the migrant fleet. There are 17 million Quarians in the flotilla, and each of us relies on the others for survival. The bonds among my people are strong. Unfortunately, we have had to surrender many of the freedoms and civil liberties other species take for granted.
Examples?
What kind of freedoms?
Well, it's illegal for parents to have more than one child. If our population grows too much, it would strain our resources to their breaking point.
That makes
sense. Of
sense.
course, we also can't allow our numbers to become too few. If our population is in decline, the rule against single births is temporarily repealed. In extreme cases of population decline, incentives are even offered to encourage multiple births. Though the Conclave hasn't had to take such measures in nearly a century.
What's the Conclave?
That's your government.
The Conclave is our civilian branch of government. Each ship can elect a representative to serve on the Conclave and make decisions that affect the fleet as a whole. On matters that affect an individual ship, however, the captain has the final say. It's a tradition that dates back to the early days, when the fleet was governed by martial law. Fortunately, most captains nowadays are smart enough to have an elected council from their crew to give them advice and guidance.
Okay, so effectively democratic.
So the ultimate power rests with elected officials.
In practice, the Conclave and the respective council for each ship tend to set the rules that govern our daily lives. But in theory, we are still under military jurisdiction. The 5 top-ranking military officials in the fleet serve on the Admiralty Board. These 5 have the power to overrule any decision by the Conclave in case of emergency. To do so requires unanimous agreement among the Admiralty, and they can only do this once. After that, the entire board must resign their posts. It's a safeguard that served us well. In nearly 3 centuries, the Admiralty Board has only overruled the Conclave 4 times.
That's not bad. And frankly, a fairly smart way to go about it. And obviously, Shepard saying that this is the option saying democratic, it's like it's a democratic republic form of democracy, not true democracy.
I want to know more about the Geth.
I doubt I can tell you anything you don't already know. It's been almost 3 centuries since they drove my people into exile. All I know is the story of their origins, what they were when we created them, and how they turned on us.
Tell me.
Interesting.
The Geth were originally created to serve as an automated manual labor force. Initially, their intelligence was as limited as any VI. Over time, we made small modifications to their programming to allow them to perform more varied and complex tasks, bringing them closer and closer to true AI status.
I would definitely point out that this was illegal.
How come the council didn't step in and stop you?
This wasn't true AI research. We may have been skirting the bounds of the law, but we never did anything that was actually illegal. The changes were so insignificant, so gradual, that we were able to control them. Or so we thought. But one thing we underestimated was the power of the neural network. A million Geth thinking simultaneously created an inherently unstable matrix.
Neural network?
So, the Geth share brain power?
Many of the Geth's logic systems were designed to work in concert with other nearby Geth. Basically, the more of them you have in a group, the smarter they are.
I would interpret that as a hive mind myself.
So there's some sort of group consciousness?
No, nothing like that. They cannot share sensory data or information. Their programming cannot handle that much simultaneous input. Each Geth maintains an individual awareness and identity. The neural network only operates on a process-based level. It's basically the synthetic equivalent of a subconscious. But when they're in close proximity, they can coordinate low-level functional processes, freeing up more capacity for original or independent thought.
Okay. I won't say I don't get it. This seems like a creator perspective of this. And essentially they're able to work together in close proximity, but they are not constantly fully connected. And we will get more information on this once we get into the Mass Effect 2 section, as well as in our other franchise playthrough for this series. We will get more information once we get a little bit further in that playthrough as well.
What made them rebel?
As we built more and more Geth, their effective intelligence became more sophisticated, more abstract. One day, a Geth began to ask its Quarian overseer questions about the nature of its existence. Am I alive? Why am I here? What is my purpose? As you can imagine, this caused a near panic among my people.
Explain.
I don't see what's so bad about those questions.
The Geth were created to engage in mundane, repetitive, or dangerous manual labor. That's fine for machines, but it won't satisfy a sentient being for long. The Geth were showing signs of rudimentary self-awareness and independent thought. If the Geth were intelligent, then we were essentially using them as slaves. It was inevitable the newly sentient Geth would rebel against their situation. We knew they would rise up against us, so we acted first. A general order went out across all Quarian-controlled systems to permanently deactivate all Geth. The Geth responded to this order violently.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. What did you expect?
You didn't really think they'd just let you destroy them without a fight, did you?
The hope was that most of the Geth would still be little more than machines, incapable of organized resistance. But they had progressed much further than anyone anticipated. The war was long and bloody. Millions upon millions of Quarians died at their hands. In the end, we were forced to flee our own homeworld. We feared the Geth would pursue us, but they never came beyond the Veil. Now we drift through space, exile, searching for a way to reclaim what was once ours.
Yeah, I'm gonna say serves you right on this. Like I said, this Shepard is not the sort of Shepard in the Renegadeness that would want to destroy an entire species. So, serves you right.
You got what you deserved.
We made a mistake when we created the Geth in the first place, but we did not make a mistake when we went to war against them. If we had not acted, they would have wiped us out. They're a synthetic life form. They have no use for organics. None. Why do you think they cut themselves off from the rest of the galaxy? Why do you think they've killed every organic being who's ever tried to contact them?
Not everyone.
They didn't kill Saren.
What does that tell you? The Geth are not innocent victims in all this. They're the enemy. They want to destroy us. Not just the Quarians. All organic life. That's why they've joined up with Saren. And that's why we have to stop him.
Okay. I understand her perspective at this point.
I should go.
See you later.
But I do think that she's a bit flawed in it at this point. We can go talk to Garrus, see what he's up to.
Commander, nice work out there. I knew working with a Spectre would be better than life at CSEC.
You knew?
Have you worked with a Spectre before?
Well, no, but I know what they're like. Spectres make their own rules. You're free to handle things your way. At CSEC, you're buried by rules. The damn bureaucrats are always on your back.
As I've also said, this Shepard is definitely going to be a rule follower. You shouldn't complain.
For the most part, the rules are there for a reason.
Yeah.
Maybe. But sometimes it feels like the rules are only there to stop me from doing my work. If I'm trying to take down a suspect, it shouldn't matter how I do it, as long as I do it. But CSEC wants it done their way. Protocol and procedure come first. That's why I left.
That was your reason.
So you just quit because you didn't like the way they do things?
There's more to it than that. It didn't start out bad, but as I rose in ranks, I got saddled with more and more red tape. CSEC's
Makes sense.
handling of Saren was typical. I just couldn't take it anymore. I hate leaving.
Forget about it.
You did the right thing. Life's too short to sit around waiting for things to happen.
Yeah, you're probably right. Either way, I plan to make the most of this. And without CSEC headquarters looking over my shoulder, well, maybe I can get the job done my way for a change.
That depends.
If getting the job done means endangering innocent people, then no. We get the job done right, not fast. Got it?
I wasn't trying to. I understand, Commander.
This is that fun little bit with Garrus that Shepard effectively is a formative figure for him, and I don't want Garrus to become too ruthless, even though obviously Renegade Shepard, but again, that's the thing. It's that renegade, it's that balance with ultimately, actually we can just take a look and see. Yeah, we're pretty balanced right now between Paragon and Renegade. That's probably going to be how it goes. I might we'll see when we get to Pharaohs. We'll see how that goes. Let's talk to Rex, though.
Shepard, what can I do for you?
Tell me about yourself.
What's your story, Rex?
There's no story. Go ask the Quarian if you want stories.
Don't be an ass.
You Krogan live for centuries. Don't tell me you haven't had a few interesting adventures.
Well, there was this one time the Turians almost wiped out our entire race. That was fun.
They tried the same with us, but we fought them off.
It's not the same.
It isn't?
It seems pretty much the same to me.
So your people were infected with a genetic mutation? An infection that makes only a few in 1,000 children survive birth? And I suppose it's destroying your entire species?
Okay, I see your
I
point.
suppose it isn't all the same.
I don't expect you to understand, but don't compare humanity's fate with the Krogan.
Touchy subject?
I was just making conversation. I wasn't trying to upset you.
Your ignorance doesn't upset me, Shepard. As for the Krogan, I gave up on them long ago. The genophage infected us, but it's not what's killing us.
Tell me more about the genophage.
What can you tell me about the genophage?
Ask the Solarians if you want details. They made it. All
Kind
I
of
know,
foreshadowing there.
it makes breeding nearly impossible. Thousands die in stillbirth, and most never get that far. Every Krogan is infected. Every one. And no one's rushing to find a cure.
That is surprising.
Why don't the Krogan try to find a cure?
When was the last time you saw a Krogan scientist? You ask a Krogan, would he rather find a cure for the genophage or fight for credits? He'll choose fighting every time. It's just who we are, Shepard. I can't change that. Nobody can.
Tell me more about the extinction, though. If it's not the genophage specifically, what's causing your extinction?
Are your people really dying?
We're sure not getting any stronger. We're too spread out. None of us are interested in staying in our own system.
Lots of species have left their homes and prospered.
But they go to colonize new worlds. We're not settlers. We're warriors. We want to fight. So we leave. Hire ourselves out. And most of us never go back.
Okay. That makes sense.
So long, Rex.
Shepard.
Obviously, faster conversations with Garrus and Rex still. But it's interesting to think about with Rex in regard to this. Rex is one of the characters in this that is really ostensibly an adult figure, and yet as Shepard you can still have a great deal of influence on him, and it's really very interesting.
Commander, you have a minute to talk?
What about?
Is this duty related, Chief?
No, sir. Well, maybe. I know things are different aboard the Normandy, but I'm concerned about the aliens, Vicarian and Rex. With all due respect, Commander, should they have full access to the ship?
Because they're aliens.
You don't trust their motives because they're not human.
This is the most advanced ship in the Alliance Navy. I don't think we should give them free rein to poke around the vital systems. Engines, sensors, weapons.
You're out of line.
That's enough, Chief. You always second-guess your superiors?
Sir! No, sir. I'm sorry, I was out of line. I'll get back to my duties, Commander.
An important stance to take. I want her to respect Garrus and Rex.
Commander?
How are we doing?
What's your opinion on the last mission?
You mean the Rachni, right? They were dangerous, Commander. They proved that 2,000 years ago. I think it was a mistake to let them go. But that wasn't my call to make. It was yours. You know, when we pick up that Asari scientist, we'll have to tell her we killed her mom. That's gonna suck. Just saying, Commander.
Interesting. I know that... I know that at least Garrus is technically an optional crewmate in this game, but I feel like Tali also technically might be optional. She might just insist on coming no matter what, but I know for sure that Garrus is technically an optional crewmate. They really make it very obvious that Liara is not an optional crewmate at all.
Do you have a few minutes to talk one-on-one?
I'm sorry, Commander. I need to get my duty squared away. I wouldn't mind talking more later, though.
Okay.
Dismissed, Chief.
Sir.
Well, I'm definitely not making her want to flirt with me, which is good. I have romanced Ashley in the past, and I do actually like the Ashley romance a fair bit, but it's... None of the human romances have ever really appealed to me. I have also romanced Miranda in Mass Effect 2. I've thought about romancing Jack, but by and large, the human romances really don't do anything for me. But let's take a look at our journal, see what assignments we have. So we have to go to Pharos, we have to go to the Artemis Tau cluster. Let's start here with our assignments. So we have quite a few things that we're going to need to go back to the Citadel for. Argos Row, Sentry System, and the Hawking Edda. Still need to finish up the Consort. Those are all Citadel. We have to go to the Strenna system of the Horsehead Nebula to look for Gareth's brother. We're in the Horsehead Nebula right now, so we can take care of that next. We have to go to the Antaeus system in the Hades Gamma cluster. Another Citadel, that's ongoing. Newton system in the Kepler Verge, and we have to go to the Artemis Tau cluster. So we have a lot of things that are going to bring us to the Artemis Tau cluster. Those... I'm going to hold off on getting Liara as long as I can. But now we'll go... I hit the wrong button again. Dang it. Every single time. B for me is more of an exit button. So here's the Strenuous system. I've heard that maybe it's supposed to be strenuous, but Strenuous. I like saying Strenuous. That has always been what I've said, so that's what I'm going to stick with. And this will get us to take care of that's what we're looking for, that unknown. But let's just see if we can do any surveying. Yunthorl. Got a medallion. And Antitara. Gas deposit. Excellent. Nothing on Traylon. It's a lifeless rock. And nothing at Thessalgon. So, got our unknown here. The MSV Majesty, that is what we are looking for in regard to Gareth's brother. We can scan it. The Majesty is a Kowloon-class modular conveyor of human design. The ship is derelict, all compartments are exposed to space, and the fusion plant is leaking. The damage is consistent with ship-mounted mass accelerator fire. A faint trail of radioactive particles, possibly exhaust from a sublight nuclear engine drive, leads toward the nearby planet of Zawin. So, over to Zawin we will go. Level 1 cold hazard. Lovely. I guess I just leveled up. Wonderful. Was not expecting that. But we will get on the planet, and that will finish off this episode. We should be dealing with humans, so let's do Rex, and we'll do Tally. I actually like this mix. Rex and Tally together is really pretty good. It gives me a nice balance. Really, Tally is my main decryption person. That's why she will pretty much always come with me no matter what. Exception will be Pharos. And we'll discuss why that is. So, Medal of Exploration 1. Land on an uncharted world. Cool. Very exciting. But I am going to save this here. And that is going to end this episode, everybody. So thank you so much for watching. Be sure to hit the subscribe button so you always know when I have new videos coming out, and follow the links in the description to the Facebook page and Discord server so you can join the conversation. But until next time, everybody, this is your Game Professor, signing off, and I will see you then.